What if I told you that the courts you see on TV, the judges, the gavels, the verdicts, are a shadow puppet show, and that the real justice system, the one that actually balances cosmic law, exists in a parallel realm guarded by beings most people call fairies? I'm not being poetic. I'm summarizing fragments from pre Rome Greek traditions, Celtic oral histories, Gnostic texts, and even echoes in Sumerian tablets. They all point to the same memory. There was once a race of beings, not human, not God, something in between, who held the only true authority over justice when humanity fell out of alignment. They didn't leave, they retreated into a realm that exists right next to ours. And that realm still operates. You can see it, but you can file a case with it. And sometimes, rarely, it answers. Before the Roman Empire imposed its legal system across Europe and the Middle East, there was a widespread belief that justice was not a human invention. It was a dimensional law. The Greeks, for example, spoke of the Horae, goddesses of order and justice, who served Zeus. But beneath them was an older layer, the Dike, a force that didn't judge you, but simply returned to you what you put out. Not karma as reward and punishment, but karma as a mirror. And the keeper of that mirror wasn't Zeus. It was a being or a collective of beings that the Greeks vaguely called the theonomioi, the gods of custom. But those beings weren't Olympians. They were older. The Celts had a clearer memory. They called the realm Tierra Noga, the land of the young, and said it was inhabited by the Aos Sí, often translated as fairies. But these weren't tiny winged creatures. They were tall, luminous, and utterly indifferent to human morality. Their only concern was truth and contract. Break a vow, they would appear in your bedroom that night. The Romans, when they conquered, systematically erased this memory. Why? Because you can't control a population that believes a fairy court has higher authority than Caesar. So how does this court work? According to the surviving fragments, first, it's not physical. It exists in what the Gnostics called the pleromic interference, a layer between the material world and the full spiritual realm. Second, it doesn't operate on human laws. It operates on resonance. If you have been wronged, and the wrong was a violation of truth, not legality, but truth, the court already knows. You don't need to file paperwork. You need to resonate the wrong. Third, the court doesn't punish. It rebalances. That might look like punishment to us, but it's more like a river correcting its course. The most detailed account comes from an obscure Irish text called the Coliki of the Elders. In it, a human is brought to the fairy court after being cheated by a king. The fairies don't argue. They don't deliberate. They simply say, what was taken will return threefold, and the taker will forget why they ever wanted it. That's the verdict. No prison, no fine, just a rewriting of desire. That's why the elite fear this court more than any human court. Because you can bribe a judge, you can't bribe a resonance shift. You don't need to travel to Ireland or Greece. The court is non-local. Here's how you access it. Step 1, be still. Not meditating, still. No mantra, no breath counting. Just sit and say internally, I wish to be heard by the court that holds true justice. Step 2, state the wrong clearly, not emotionally, clearly. Example, on this date, this person did this thing. It violated truth because X. Step 3, say, I release this to the court. I do not need to see the outcome. I trust the resonance. Step 4, let go completely. Do not check for results. Do not look for signs. The court works best when you forget you filed. People who have done this report strange things weeks later. The person who wronged them apologizes out of nowhere. A debt is repaid by an unexpected source. Or, most commonly, the person simply loses all emotional charge around the event. That last one is the court's most common verdict. You no longer need to carry this. A few warnings: do not file cases against people for petty reasons. The court can see your heart. If you're filing out of vengeance, the resonance will bounce back to you. Do not file on behalf of someone else unless they explicitly ask you. That's a violation of their soul contract. And do not try to check on the case. That's like calling a judge's chambers every hour. It shows you don't trust the system, and trust is the currency of this realm. The Faerie Court isn't a loophole. It's a return to an older, truer form of justice. One that existed before empires, before religions, before the lie that humans are the ultimate authority. Zeus's children guarded it once. Now you can stand at its door. Whether you knock is up to you. Comment, I file my case, not as a joke, but as a real declaration. And then do the 4 steps tonight before sleep. Come back in a week and reply to your own comment with what happened. I read every single one. Subscribe. Next video is the one you've been waiting for. The monad. Who you actually are and why the archons don't want you to know. If you enjoy exploring deeper topics around healing, consciousness, and spiritual transformation and self-awareness, I offer virtual coaching sessions designed to help individuals reconnect with themselves and create lasting personal transformation. You can find all session information and resources linked below. And if you like to continue supporting the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.